as we are just about ready for opening face-off here in High Point, North Carolina tonight. And we are underway with the opening face-off won by the High Point Panthers, and that's going to be a battle today at the X. It'll be the Tar Heels with the first offensive possession. Here's Spencer Wertheim working on Ian Cann, a two-way guy. Duffy strikes first here at Vert Stadium, and he is on an incredible tear this season, one of the best offensive players in the country in Owen Duffy.
Yeah, Mike, you cannot let Owen Duffy get his hands free from 8 yards. He's going to put it low and away, off stick low all night. We can't let that guy fill up the basket if you're High Point's defense.
Bit of mix and match personnel for this UNC team. Here's Harshbarger. Takes the pick from Duffy, flips it over to Petramala, and over and makes a stick save. Can't find it off the rebound, and Petramala picks it back up. Fresh 60.
All week during practice, it takes time away from their ability to scout for the UNC offense and UNC defense. So just going to be a tough matchup for them all night, trying to break that ride. But once they do, they should be able to get some transition out of it.
And right on the money, Hunter Vines as a transition opportunity. Hines works it to Bunton. He steps in, and that's popcorn for Gian Ficcaro.
That's our first save we've seen from Gian Ficcaro tonight, and he has been playing at a high level this season, Mike. He is going to be a problem if he starts seeing the ball well tonight.
A transfer from Princeton and an all-star just like Dominic Petramala as he puts that one on the ground and into the net for the Tar Heels' second goal here today. They lead by 2 with 10:05 left to go.
Good old-fashioned high bouncer there from Dom Petramala right into the top right corner. Off-stick high for Overend.
And we'll take another look at this one. Just catch and shoot, and it's all just one motion. As the Panthers with offensive possession with 20 seconds and ticking on this shot clock here. Here's Bunton with his hands free. Steps in, and they score. Panthers within 1. 8:52 left to go, and the Panthers are on the board.
A great play there by Owen Bunting to get to the middle of the field. Coaches talk a ton about keeping the offensive players away from the middle of the field. Offensive coaches talk about winning to the middle of the field.
Here in High Point University, just 6 goals scored in his first 2 games of action. Here's Accardo with another win. Skips it over to Bunton, steps in, and a stick save from Gian Ficcaro. Man, a brick wall he is, and here's Hoffman. Matten working a little 2-man game from behind. Takes the pick from Wertheim. Feeds over to Egan. Egan still with it. Diving, and they'll say he's in the crease. High Point ball. Harshbarger pulls it back to Petramala. Duffy with some room, steps in and scores. What a goal from Owen Duffy as the Tar Heels bring their lead back to 2. 6:24 left to go here in this first quarter.
Such an explosive play there, Mike, by Owen Duffy. Just sliding around his defender, dropping the head of his stick low, over and bites low, and he pulls it back to that top left corner. Great shot.
What a find for this Tar Heels team, a former top recruit in his class, as this ball still being fought for. Goosed into space and picked up by Benson. And an open goal for Matten, and the Tar Heels strike once again. Back-to-back goals for UNC, and they find their 4th on the day. 6:10 now left to go here in this first quarter.
Those are the ones you just can't give up if you're a High Point fan. Turning the ball over in your own defensive unit, leaving a one-on-one on Overend. There's nothing he can do to stop that one.
Gets it over to Petramala, and they had numbers, but they'll work things around and reset. Under 40 on the shot clock. 3:20 left to go. Petramala with the hammer, and he scores from way downtown. Petramala lights it up for their 5th goal here today.
Yeah, Mike, he was our player to watch for a reason. He gets his hands free. Like we said, he's going to find the back of the net.
Unlimited range is how I would describe Dom Petramala. Just an unbelievable outside shooter. That's a matchup that we will look out for here today. Westbrook, another freshman on this High Point squad, as Wertheim tries to go to the rack and bounces that one over the cage. 1 minute and 32 seconds left on this game clock here in the first quarter. Petramala, what a save from Overin. Stonewalls it. And High Point still fighting for it. And scooped up.
Yeah, Mike, to that point, it requires the entire team to work on the ride and clear. You have to have your offensive guys, your defensive guys out there, so that takes important time out of the practice schedule that you would normally be working on offensive schemes, defensive schemes, scout team stuff.
Offensive unit for High Point. He can move just about at any spot and play. A midfielder transition to attack, as we spoke about in the open. Here's Wickstead, leaves his man in the dust, and that's an easy save for Gian Ficcaro. Is a big physical presence on offense for this High Point team. What an over-the-head check from Can. Scooped up in the middle of the field by Stevens. Here's Derman. They've got a bit of a break. Robbins, and he sends that one over the cage. Rovier puts a bad pass into the middle of the field. That one almost intercepted, but it'll be still being fought for. Frankenheimer had it for a moment, but Bunton picks it up. Tries to squeak through a double team, and Barton's with it. Here's Wilson. As what a play there from Salucci as he saves the over and back. Great heads-up play, and another impact freshman on this incredibly young Tar Heel team, playing with a veteran-level IQ. Here's Harshbarger. What a shot. That one almost squeaks through, but Overin backs it up. Under 20 now left on this shot clock. Bunton has the lone goal today here for High Point. Stoll kicks it over to Cooper. Cooper hesitates, fires, and what a save from Gian Ficcaro as he is quick to get it out. And here's Hagerup. And they'll slow things down. Great job from High Point to get into the hole and slow down that transition.
I'll tell you, Mike, as an offensive player, when there's a goalie like Gian Ficcaro who's starting to get hot, those white parts of the net, the open net that you see, starts to get smaller and smaller.
And the Tar Heels strike once again. And we get our first goal here in this second half. Forgive me, second quarter, but with 9:02 left to go,
North Carolina goal.
It'll be Owen Duffy who puts that one in the back of the net. Just beats his man with speed. And he is unbelievable from any point on this field. Here's English. English skips it across to Wertheim, and that one's going to roll out of bounds.
Extremely athletic play there by Zach Brenfleck, and look at him go.
Brenfleck gets stood up once again. They used a lot of screens and a lot of their defenders as screens on shots and just offered up so many different weapons offensively. Coulter Mackesy being one of those. Chad Palumbo, and that one is off the stick of Overend.
Great hustle to play there by John Adams and the ground ball. Great play all around. UNC had three guys running off, three guys running on. It's impossible to navigate that area with the ball in your stick.
Scott Moore, only a sophomore. Here's Rovier, steps into one, and he scores. High Point on the board here in the second quarter 6-2. Colin Rovier puts the Panthers on the board here in the second quarter. In front, and the Tar Heels score once again. They boost their lead back up to 5 with 3:29 left to go. And it looks like Suchek is the one to put that ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, a little two-man game there behind X Mike. Great pick. Creates just a little bit of separation. Takes one more step to greatness, increases his angle, and finds the back of the net.
Been a part of that program for just about over 8 years now. And his love for the game of lacrosse has been huge for Coach Bresci and his ability to recruit 2 athletes. And what a question mark there from Duffy, but that one stood up by Overend. He goes high to high, and Overend read that all the way. To date, right around number 13 in the nation. And it was an unexpected bunch out there, but a great defense and even better goalkeeper and Tim Troutner and guys like Asher Nolting to be able to facilitate so much offense and put together a great staff, and a staff that a lot of people believe are going to make an impact once they find their footing on this field and really attack the transfer portal. English puts a nice move and scores. And the Tar Heels strike first here in this second half.
Yeah, great move there by English. Like I said, he gets to the middle of the field, increases his angle. That's an impossible save for a goalkeeper. He's at 8 yards, right in the dead middle of the field.
Just really nice efforts there, and gets his hands free.
Mike, I tell you, nothing comes easy against this UNC bunch. They don't have to set up in their ride. They just ride like madmen, and that is all about passion. That's all about effort. This team has it, and that's why this is a team that you should look for to make a deep run late in the championship weekend.
So Matten's called in the crease. Suchek working on Derman. Petramala from the outside. The hammer fires wide. 6:50 on the clock. McAdams with Levy in front, and what a save by Overend.
Incredible save there by Overend. High Point needs to take their time and clear the ball against this 10-man ride.
Meehan takes his eyes off of it. And UNC gets the possession right back. The Tar Heels have continued to build upon this exceptional lead. Wertheim gets clogged up. Duffy, quick hands, and what a save once again by Zach Overend. Under 40 on the shot clock. Here's Price. Gives it up to Duffy. Brent Flack gets through. Puts a nice stick on the hands of Duffy.
Absolutely, Mike. It's getting to that point of the game where you have to capitalize on every opportunity you're given. You're down by 6 goals, only gotten 12 shots on target all night, so you really got to capitalize here and try to put one in the back of the net.
Meehan gets stood up. Gian Vaccaro stonewalls that shot. And has been a big part in why they've been able to have so much success. Had big shoes to fill as well after the loss of Krieg in net. Another Long Island lacrosse player.
I tell you, Mike, we talk a lot about Dom Petramala and his scoring ability, but it seems like every time there is a loose ball, Dom Petramala comes away with it, splitting double teams and triple teams.
Egan with the hammer, lowers the shoulder, and finds the back of the net. Dewey Egan. What a goal. Get another look at this Unbelievable shot from Dewey Egan. And they'll work it around to Wertheim. A feed to English, and what a find, what a finish for the Tar Heels. What a goal from Ty English. And he buries that one past Overin.
Yeah, Mike, they're beginning to pour it on here late in the third quarter. High Point is running out of time if they want to make this a competitive game. But this UNC squad just keeps continuing to pour goals into the back of the net.
You mentioned Hoffman and Meehan, but you had wheels yourself, Hunter, and whether you like it or not, you were one of the fastest guys on this field. Petramala with some space, and he scores.
Speaking of fast, that was a laser beam to the top right corner.
Dominic Petramala buries it in the top right corner, and what ball movement from this Tar Heel team. And we'll take another look at this one, Hunter. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he just attacks the upgrade. This guy is closing out too fast. He doesn't break down. He doesn't lock his arm. He goes right through that weak stick check, finds the back of the net.
For Johns Hopkins in his 4-year career at Homewood. But here's Wambach. Gets it over to Duffy. Feeds on the doorstep, and Petramala can't find it. A nice kick save.
Some guys who don't get to play that often enter the game in this fourth quarter.
It's a great opportunity for them to put them in a situation against some of the best players and teams in the entire country. And just trying different avenues and calling them all on the phone just to try to get a relationship and build some sort of bond with each and every single one of these guys, and they've really bought in. Overin makes another save. The rebound somehow picked up by Matten, and that one's out of bounds. Floodlights are out. And the temperature has dropped here at Vert Stadium, but that one drops in for a goal. Uses the earth and finds the back of the net. That's Harshbarger who puts it in for the Tar Heels. Great goal there from Harshbarger. Gets upfield, turns his shoulders square to the cage, and just buries it. Really young midfield unit, and they still do this season with 2 freshmen being in that first midfield line. But you have the production from Duffy and Petramala. The rebound picked up by Matten, and he puts that one in the back of the net past Overin. What an offensive showcase today as they continue to build on this lead.
Yeah, Mike, we'll get a second look at that. These are brutal for a goalkeeper. You make a great save, ball pops right out into the stick of another offensive player. Before you know it, you're digging it out of the back of the net.
Works it inside, steps into one, and Harshbarger can't get it past Overin.
If you're the High Point Panthers here, you're just looking for something positive to take away from tonight. 14 shots on goal. It's not going to get it done, and it's really not going to get you ripened up for A10 play either.
Unable to get his hands free there. Meehan gets it over to Cook. Now back to Meehan. Meehan rolls back, gets into trouble, fires, and that one's off the stick of Gian Vaccaro. You got guys like Andrew O'Barry, who is bar none my favorite player on this entire field. Two-way midfielder, most dominant short stick defenseman, but plays long pole as well on man down. So his versatility has been huge for this Tar Heel team. And Wilson from the outside finds the back of the net. Another goal for this UNC squad. 5:46 left to go, and a missile from the outside. Has been a huge defensive piece for this Tar Heel team, just super athletic. Here's the feed on the doorstep, the shovel shot, can't find it. Overin reaching back, and he makes the save. So just about 2 minutes left to play. Here's Hines, the middle of the field, and that one is fired right over that left pipe.
Ryan Hines has developed into such a solid player for this High Point squad. He is huge, he's strong, and he knows how to use his body. He's developed that over these years, and he's a really exciting player for this High Point squad.
Rovier tries to step into one. That one's batted out of the air, but it'll be picked up by the Tar Heels. 82% on saves this game. 9 saves, only 2 goals allowed for what is a dominant performance in this Tar Heels revenge game as Overend makes another save.
Says a lot about who you are as a player and as a person. He earned the respect of his teammates right away when he arrived at campus, and he's earning the respect of me right now watching him shut the door on High Point.
A scrum for this ground ball. Now under 10 seconds left to go. Good makes an incredible save coming across his body, and they'll blow the play dead with 7.2 left to go in this final quarter of action. Pass on the inside. That one fired. Downs knocks it down. And the Tar Heels get revenge against High Point.